Today I wanted to do a quick video talking about the Lake of Fire. So the original Greek word for the Lake of Fire is Gehenna. So there are three different Greek words for the word hell. So there is Gehenna, Hades, and Tartarus. I believe all of these are different places, but they're all equipped for the wicked, right? The wicked will go there in some form, Satan, his angels, humans, things like that, these different places. But Hades is the intermediary period, and then we know hell, Hades, hell will be thrown into the lake of fire for the second death. Now, I want to talk about the lake of fire specifically. So the original Greek word for the lake of fire is Gehenna, and that's actually referring to a valley outside of the city of Jerusalem. I think that really gives us a hint on what the lake of fire is. So it is a valley where they dumped bodies, they dumped trash, things like that, right outside Jerusalem. And you guys know I'm a little seasonist, so I don't believe that the Israel we know of today, the nation of Israel, is the same Israel as in biblical times. I don't think it's the same Jerusalem either. So this image isn't an accurate depiction, but it does give you a good idea of kind of what it looked like. So it was a valley, like the valley here right outside of the city of Jerusalem. So that brings us to what will happen in the future on New Earth, in the new city, Jerusalem. I really believe that that gives us a hint that the Lake of Fire is actually right outside of the new city, New Jerusalem, on New Earth as well. Those who are in the Lake of Fire will not be able to enter into the holy city, into New Jerusalem. And I do have some scriptures here to back that up, but they'll be on New Earth and just outside of the city, and they can't enter in. And I'll talk a little bit about that, but I believe that that's what that is. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because that valley was right outside of Jerusalem. I think this on New Earth, it's going to be outside of the new city, New Jerusalem. They won't be able to enter into the holy city, those who are lost. So if we look at Revelation 20, verse 15, it says, "And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire." If we go to Revelation 21, verse 27, it says, "And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are in the Lamb's book of life." So this is referring to lost people, and it says, "And there shall in no wise enter into it." And that's referring to the new city, New Jerusalem. So that's one of the reasons why I believe that. So they will be on New Earth, but they won't be able to enter into this new city, New Jerusalem. And then if we look at Revelation 22, verse 2, it says, "In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there a tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations." Now, isn't this interesting? Those of us who are saved, we're going to get glorified bodies. We're not going to need healing. We're going to be glorified. Now, these lost people will have different bodies than us, and it looks like these, because we're going to reign over nations on New Earth. I believe the millennial kingdom was kind of like a sneak peek of what New Earth will be like. It was sort of kind of similar to what New Earth will be like. So there were mortal people, but it's going to be a little different, but kind of like a preview. And so I believe we will be reigning over nations, kings and priests, reigning over nations, over people on New Earth. And see how this is, and the leaves were for the tree of the healing of the nations. I think those are the nations, the lost people, right? We won't need healing. So I believe that that's what that is. And see how it says healing of the nations, which brings me to my next theory, which is universal reconciliation. Now, I know that that's a very controversial topic, but I'll just make it clear, I don't believe in the New Age universalism, that teaching, that all paths lead to heaven and all that, and everyone's saved regardless of what you believe. No, it's clear Jesus is the only way. You can only be saved by believing in Jesus. But universal reconciliation, saying that everyone will be saved eventually, no matter how long it takes, right? And you can see here it says healing of the nations. Seems like they're going to be healed, right? But I'm going to give you guys some more scriptures to prove what I'm saying. Revelation 13, verse 8 says, "And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world." So these are lost people. And see how it says, "And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship them." So it shows that they will be on earth. And this is clear. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of of life of the Lamb slain for the foundation of the world, right? These are the lost. And then, of course, we have 1 Timothy 2, 4-6. Now, I believe in the King James Bible. I think the King James Bible was made in the Millennial Kingdom. It's from 1611. I believe this is the only accurate version of the Bible, personally. And so I believe that, we can trust the King James. And you really can't get around this verse in any other way than what it actually says. When you take it contextually, I see a lot of people try to make it not say what it actually says, but there's no denying this, right? 1 Timothy 2, verse 4, who will have all men to be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth, right? I believe what it says, he will have all men to be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth, who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time. So I really do believe that. So I think eventually the lost will be able to enter into the holy city. It's just going to be a long age, a long period. And that brings me back to, the word everlasting in the Bible, things like that. There's different scriptures that say that. Now, I'll go to the Greek here, but we don't even have to go to the Greek, right? I believe the King James is accurate, right? The King James Bible, we don't have to go to the Greek to change it. But I'm just mentioning the Greek here for a quick moment. So that word anios means an age. So it does mean like an age. So it does sound like it is a long time. But even the English word everlasting, it actually can mean, if you Google define everlasting, lasting forever or a very long time. So I do think it will be like an age, a very long time, even with the word everlasting. But I do believe, given these scriptures here, that eventually all will be saved, right? That's universal reconciliation. So it does seem that that's what it is. And given these scriptures, I believe that that's what the lake of fire is. And, I used to be an annihilationist a long time ago, but I realized that that's not biblical either, When it says the wicked will perish, uses those language, I believe that that's referring to the wicked part of people, like anything that's evil will perish. Because think about it, a lake of fire is like a refiner's fire, right? So it refines people, so it destroys the wicked, but refines people to refiner's fire, right? So I do believe in universal reconciliation, even though I know it's very controversial, but I do believe that that's what the scripture says. So that's my take on that. All right, God bless.